like to call the meeting to order, please. And at this time, if you would stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and welcome. We're very, very pleased to see all of you out tonight. And I know we have some wonderful things going on, so I know you can't wait to get to those. So just a couple of housekeeping items, and we'll get you to the part you're here for. Madam Superintendent, board members, do we have any changes, amendments, additions, or deletions to the agenda tonight?
No, ma'am.
I do have a few. So the agenda was revised with the chairman's permission for just cause on December 5th, 7th, and 11th to delete a duplicate item, remove prior item 8.10, and add items 4.0, 4.02, 4.03, 8.11, 8.12, and 8.13. An HR addendum was added today to item 9.01, and the board has been provided a copy. I'm also pulling item 8.07 for no action this evening, and there was a revision that is in your place for item, trying to find my copy,
8.10.
8.10, for 8.10, and that's been provided to you as well.
Okay, thank you. We also need to have approval of the minutes from the November meeting on the 27th. Mrs. Kornegay?
I recommend approval of the minutes from the regular school board meeting, November 27th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the minutes be accepted. All those in favor, let it be known by a usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, 5-0. And now we're down to representation. So Mrs. Carmen Cullen, would you please come forward? Mrs. Cullen is the Executive Director of the School Education Foundation.
Thank you, Madam Chair, board members, superintendent. The foundation serves as the liaison for the district and DOE to manage and implement recognition events. In that role, we managed the selection process of the 2024 School-Related Employee of the Year and the 2024 Volunteer of the Year. The Florida School-Related Employee of the Year program recognizes outstanding education support personnel for their contribution to their schools and communities. The program honors those who have demonstrated exceptional skill and dedication in the performance of their jobs, therefore earning them the respect and admiration of students, teachers, administrators, coworkers, and parents. We have 3 individuals who have earned the honor of being named not only their school choice for School-Related Employee of the Year, but also as one of 3 finalists for the district. Would Mrs. Pacheco, Mrs. Comstadt, and Mrs. Hannah Walt please join me? Our first nominee is from Groveland Elementary. Beatrice Pacheco has served a little over a year as the family school liaison. She is responsible for reaching out to community partners for resources that families in need could use. Referred to as Mrs. B, or this is my favorite, Queen B. She has a knack of making everyone feel like they matter. She builds the relationships necessary to ensure that the Groveland families and students are taken care of. Congratulations, Queen Bee. Our second nominee is Elizabeth Comstock from Pine Ridge Elementary. She has been at Pine Ridge for as long as Pine Ridge has been Pine Ridge, 20 years to be exact, and for the past 10 as the ESE clerk. In her role, she is responsible for maintaining the accuracy of the ESE records, schedules yearly IEP meetings for the teachers, and submits ESE paperwork to the district. Known as Miss Eli, her proactive approach to her responsibilities significantly contributes to the creating a conductive and conducive and supportive learning environment for all students. Passionate is the word, perfect adjective to describe Miss Eli and how she feels about her students and her job. Congratulations. Our final nominee hails from Tavares Middle School, Lisa Hannawalt. She serves as a school secretary and describes her duties that she is responsible for: sub-coverage, volunteer coordination, facilities, HR and payroll support, clerical duties, and other basic school operations. With 5 years' experience and 1 year at her current site, her principal applauds her ability to make people smile and gives her credit for many of the school's successes. Congratulations. I know that the superintendent and school board would like to personally thank you, so if you would please join them on the dais. Natalie, I'll let you in. I'm going to let the suspense of naming the Employee of the Year winner build while I introduce the category winners for the 2024 Volunteers of the Year. The state recognizes and awards in 3 categories: adult, youth, and senior, for showing exceptional commitment to students, resiliency, and dedication to quality education in their local schools. Would Reese Pons, Desiree A.C., and Marjorie Eisnagel please join me at the podium? Our youth winner, Reese Pons, is an 11th grader at First Academy. In the past 3 years, she has booked over 1,400 community service hours, with 200 of those hours being at Beverly Shores. She has organized numerous events, including the collection of 2,000 pounds of food. She has a special ability to build relationships with underprivileged females and to give them confidence. She promotes the spirit of volunteerism. Thank you, Reese. Our adult winner, Desiree A.C., works for the Agricultural Department and Future Farmers of America chapter at Mount Dora High School for the past 12 years. And when I say worked, I didn't use that term lightly, because this woman does much more than volunteer. She serves as the alumni and booster president, and she assists with fundraisers, events, and the monthly concession stand at the Florida Antique Tractor Pull. During the fair, she works from dawn to wee midnight hours, helping 56 students trailer, feed, and wash the animals. Summed up, Desiree is a school tutor, character and leadership mentor and coach, a cheerleader, a chauffeur, a fundraiser, and a friend. Thank you, Desiree. Our senior winner, Marjorie Eisnagel, can be found at Beverly Shores. She has volunteered over 180 hours in the past 3 years. Marjorie is with Bethany Lutheran Church, a faith-based partner with Beverly Shores, and she comes to the school once a month to assess the needs and reports back to the partner. The school counts on her to help with Teacher Appreciation Week, trunk and treat, Thanksgiving, and Christmas events. The school says no matter how many services the government can provide, it can never take the place of volunteers such as Marjorie. Thank you, Marjorie. Oh, you're And please go meet our superintendent and school board. I know they want to thank you. Our volunteer winners are selected by a panel of 4 judges using a rubric. The top scorer in each category is named as the winner of that category, and the overall winner is named Volunteer of the Year for Lake County School District based on the highest score. I would now like to invite Superintendent Corrigan and Chairman Ms. Cunningham to join me to open the envelopes.
Again, want to congratulate all of our volunteers of the year and thank you for what you do every day for our staff and our students. And it is my pleasure now to join Ms. Cunningham in recognizing our winner of the 2024 Volunteer of the Year. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, we're going to do this together.
Okay.
All right, and the 2024 Volunteer of the Year
You want
is...
to tell them right now?
Do you have a song or something that you'd like to sing prior to?
I don't know. Maybe I could think of one. No, they look nervous. Let's tell
All right, are you ready? And
I
the-
am.
And the Lake County Schools 2024 Volunteer of the Year is Reese Pounds.
I'm a little speechless. I'll say something. Yes, I'll talk in the microphone. So, oh gosh, I'm definitely speechless. I couldn't do it without Miss Linda Watts. Sorry, this is crazy. But yes, thank you so much for, all of Lake County's support. It's just, it means the world to me. So thank you so much.
Now I need a tissue. All right, and now, without further ado, we're going to announce the winner of our School-Related Employee of the Year. I know.
Like, what is this? Should we all hold hands?
I want to congratulate each of you and thank you as well. And it was a pleasure getting to spend time with you last week and getting to recognize you at your schools. So, all right, are you ready?
I am.
All right, and the 2024 School-Related Employee of the Year is Elizabeth Comstock.
I'm gonna cry, okay? And I'm not a crier. Thank you for, the support and everybody was so sure that, I'm still speechless, but thank you, my Pine Ridge family, my family, I'm overwhelmed, so thank you very much.
see. We will be recognizing all of our school-related nominees from each school, finalists and winner of the Night of Stars on March the 5th. We would ask at this minute that all finalists, winners, and their principals meet in the rotunda for photos, please. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions of leaving? Max?
Yes. It was. It did get me a little checked out.
We have another presentation tonight. I'm going to ask Mr. Scott Fender, Director of Transportation, to please come up to the podium.
Good evening, school board members and superintendent. I would like to ask school bus driver Miss Stacy Hatcher to please come up and stand with me, please. So tonight, we'd like to recognize Miss Hatcher. She is a 25-year veteran school bus driver. The school bus business is a profession where we often strive for anonymity. Most times, for us, no news is good news. And that's why it is such a pleasure tonight to be able to recognize one of our drivers for being exceptional. And for what she did on October 23rd, she was exceptional. So on the evening of October 23rd, Miss Stacy had just dropped off the Eustis High Band after a field trip and was returning to the bus slot. And at the last moment, she decided to take a different route than she normally would. She called it fate. I think maybe there was some divine intervention there. So whatever it was, according to Eustis Police Chief Capri, it probably saved a life that night. So as she approached the intersection of West Lakeview Avenue and Morin Street, she saw a body lying in the road. After confirming that it was a body, she called 911 and then used her bus to shield the victim from traffic until rescue arrived. It was dark, and according to law enforcement, there was a real possibility that other vehicles would have hit the person if not for Miss Stacy's actions. So at a time when many people might have just continued on, Miss Hatcher's actions saved a life, and that's why we're here to recognize her today. So on behalf of Lake County Schools and the Transportation Department, I'd like to present you with this token of our appreciation. It's a Safety and Security Service coin. On the front, that reads Care, Serve, and Protect. And on the back, it reads For Exceptional Actions Above and Beyond the Call in Service to our students and our schools. Thank you for representing us.
Ms. Hatcher, don't run away. We'd like to greet you up here, please. I'd just like to add that I've known Mrs. Hatcher, I won't say exactly how long, but more than 3 decades. And I've always known that she was a very special person. But now, because of her actions on that evening, all of you know how very special she is. So thank you again, Ms. Stacy, Ms. Hatcher. Okay, now we're at public input. I have 2 cards. Am I missing anyone? If not, we're going to ask Michelle Cronin Miller to come up to the podium.
Good evening. Is there anything I need to say here?
What's your name?
Okay, I'm Michelle Turner
address.
Miller. My address is 6533 Dewey Robbins Road. I just wanted to come here tonight and to congratulate the 3 finalists. There are so many of our non-instructional employees that go above and beyond every day. And we appreciate the fact that you are recognizing their hard work. Since 2020, many non-instructional employees have taken on many more roles. Non-instructional employees are truly a staple in our school system. They are dealing with so much more now in their roles every day at work. And especially drivers like Miss Stacy, and we would like to congratulate her and thank her for her vigilance on the road that night. She and many others go above and beyond every day to make sure that our students get back and forth to school safely. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And we also going to have public input from Dr. Manuel Losardo. Dr. L, you like to be called? If you would state your name and your address, please.
Yes, my name is Dr. L. Losada, and I want to thank the board members. I want to thank Mr. Brandenburg and Madam Superintendent. I live in Lake Nona, Orlando. I was a former teacher at Triangle. I was the ISTB teacher. Former Navy, 5 years, former Marine, 2 years. I hold a master's degree in elementary ed. I hold another master's degree in guidance. I have a doctorate in organizational psychology, ironically retention. I was assigned a worker that I considered to be the work habits dangerous to the workplace because of the incessant texting. And of course, there were 2 courses of action. I kept informing admin as to the issues because having been prior military and having gone as far as I have with children, I give nothing less than my all. And I was not equally yoked with the other person in the classroom. In the classroom that I worked at, we have to give the kids in there all our fully undivided attention. If we don't, then they start acting up. Well, the person I was working with clearly her heart wasn't into the job, and I could tell. So I talked to the principal. I went up. I'm used to going up the chain of command. That's what we learn in the military. And I could tell that I was being cut off at certain times. And there was a lot of confusion regarding the handling of this issue. One administrator, after receiving 6 texts from me, took her out of the classroom. And I was really relieved because I have nothing against the person. It was the work habits. Like I said, I'm a former Marine, and we don't leave our post. We are not slack in our duties. And when you're in an EBD classroom, you cannot be slack in your duties. And I felt at home. I felt that I was doing what God wanted me to do. I was taking hits. I was getting cussed at. But I hung in there. And I didn't miss a single day because Marines don't leave their posts. We hang in there. We stick with it. So then I had a meeting with administration. And I told the administrator, I don't feel safe. And you all know how serious that is because we have been through some stuff lately. I don't feel safe. So what was the response? 2 options. You either resign or we terminate you. There was no investigation and there was no inquiry. I resigned under duress. I was embarrassed. I was yelled at in front of students. I was let out of the school like a trespasser, humiliated, not having missed a single
I'm sorry to
day.
interrupt, but you're going to have to wrap it up.
Dedication to my students could not be questioned ever. I was given a list of schools to apply to. What happened afterwards was also ugly. I never got a call except to offer me a job as a substitute teacher. I felt targeted as a person who reported an unsafe condition.
Dr. L, I'm sorry, but You're only allowed 3 minutes.
And my concern is for other teachers who report unsafe conditions, who will also be forced to resign based on decisions based
Dr.
on,
Bell, I'm sorry.
yes.
Your time's up.
So
Thank
you all know what happened,
Thank you.
and I wish you to know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Madam Superintendent, at this time, we're going to have our infamous Jacob. Are you with us, Jacob? Jacob Whitman, who is the leader of the Student Advisory Committee, hosted by the superintendent.
Well, hello all. How are we all doing today? I hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I hope you're ready for the Christmas spirit and the Christmas cold outside, unlike our lovely Florida weather. As she said, I am Jacob Whitman, and I am the chairperson of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. And before I even say anything, I want to give a big thank you to Ms. Kornegay for everything she does for Lake County, and the rest of the school board for all they do, and all the administrative offices that all throughout, and everything they do for Lake County. They do a lot in this Christmas season and Thanksgiving. We always give thanks, and we always give gifts, and I just want to say I'm very grateful for you all and all that you do. So with that, I'll start. The Superintendent Student Advisory Committee met on Friday, December 4th. Our agenda included some initial planning of our next SGA conference that will take place on Saturday, February 17th from 9 to 2 p.m. at Eustis High School. We began conversation about session topics and discussed some ideas for the conference theme. Now, these conferences are where we can try to build our SGA members up and improve their leaderships and improve student communication and trust and connections. So that's kind of the purpose. But one of the big things that we talked about, and most of the time we spent developing, the new SGA scholarship application. We discussed the criteria to include a 3.0 GPA or higher GPA, community activities and volunteer service, and submission of a 300-word essay that describes how the applicant upholds the 3 pillars of SGA: service, growth, and advocacy. On behalf of the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee, I want to thank Board Member Mr. Mathias for your financial sponsorship of our scholarship fund. So. And that was another gift we were given right before Christmas. So. Each school's SGA board and the faculty sponsor will review the applicants for their schools and select one applicant for each school. The applications will be reviewed at the upcoming advisory committee meeting, and we will narrow down the applicants to 2, and each person will receive a $500 SGA scholarship. Also, each advisory committee member was given the opportunity to apply for the Florida High School Scholars Spectrum News Scholarship. We had 2 members whose applications were submitted from Lake County schools, so good luck to Ava Pike from East Ridge High School and Jonathan Matheny from Tavares High School. Our next meeting will be January 8th. On behalf of the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee, I want to wish you all a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you. Mrs. Cullen?
Thank you. The Applemart stores have had 512 teacher visits this semester, and that equates to $79,000 worth of supplies distributed. We've received grants from CEMEX for $5,000, Mount Dora Community Trust for $12,400 for Take Stock scholarships, and another $4,000 from them for Mount Dora High School's Criminal Justice Program. We received $3,000 from Monar for school supplies, $5,000 from Sonatag for construction academies and Take Stock, and $10,000 from the Shuck Trust for Take Stock and Children. The foundation is collaborating with UF Lassiter Center, who has been appointed by the DOE as the administrator for the New Worlds Reading Initiative. The New Worlds Reading Initiative was created by the Florida Legislature in 2021 with the following goals: to create at-home libraries for VPK through 5th grade students who are not on reading level, to build caregivers' confidence and capacity to support their child's reading development by providing strategies, tips, and tools to encourage meaningful engagement, and to develop teacher experts in the science of reading through educator professional development based on New Worlds books. Our goal is to make our families with qualifying students, and there are 4,300 of those in Lake County, aware of the opportunity and to get them signed up to receive free books. As our part in the grant, the foundation will be hosting 8 community literacy events, which will include literacy stations and books and activities. The first 3 were held at Beverly Shores, Leesburg Elementary, and Eustis Heights over the past 2 Saturdays. The students enjoyed breakfast and lunch with Santa, and Santa read them a book. And the teachers that were in the room with us were extremely impressed about how well Santa read. But we broke out into small literacy stations and had activities related to the book. The parents were then assisted with signing up for the program. We had a total of 130 attend. We are hosting 8 more. 3 will be in February, and the other 3, or 6 more, the other 3 will be in March. We are also hosting the principal holiday party tomorrow evening, and we have 367 signed up for the district party on Wednesday. Laura Garcia Torres, one of our Take Stock seniors from the Villages, has been selected as one of the 12 finalists for Leader for Life Fellowship. If she is selected as one of the 6 winners, her entire college and all associated fees, transportation, living costs will be paid for. So it is a huge opportunity. Ren Fair was the largest ever. We had 145 drama students and cast who volunteered over 11,000 hours. Our 150 culinary students cooked $170,000 in turkey legs and fair food. Over 30,600 patrons attended. Our transportation department saved the day with shuttle buses from Tavares Middle School and Lake Tech, who loaned us their facilities. Shane from Warehouse and Grounds was indispensable. We grossed $793,000, and as of right now in First Pass, we're showing a profit of $466,000. This would not happen without school board member and superintendent support. So thank you. We certainly appreciate you. Our next meeting is January 24th, at which time the audit will be approved, and the audit will be distributed to this board in February. So thank you. Any questions? No. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you for that very fine report and for all the hard work that you do. You are appreciated. We will now hear from our attorney, Mr. James Myers.
Yeah, nothing except a proud papa moment. My daughter graduates from college on Friday, so I'm feeling very old all of a sudden. So,
Congratulations.
Unfinished business?
We have none?
We have none? Okay. We'll move on to new business and consent agenda.
Great. And I just want to correct, I believe I gave you the wrong item number for the revision that you have. It's 8.10, where you have a revised copy of the attachment. Originally, it said Beverly Shores, and this is actually 4 Villages, so that correction was made on there. So thank you, Ms. Luke, for catching that error. So with that said, I recommend approval of consent agenda items 8.01 to 8.06.
So moved.
Second.
And
She wasn't done. Y'all got premature.
fine, I'm going to start again. Now,
I just want to see if somebody
Thank
can do
you.
it with me.
Matthias and I waited that time. Normally, we're the first two.
No, we baited them.
Matthias always goes first.
I would like to recommend consent agenda, or go back to the beginning. So I recommend approval of consent agenda items 8.01 to 8.06 and 8.08 to 9.03.
So moved.
OMG.
It has been moved and properly second that we accept those items. All those in favor, please let it be known by a usual sign.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
It's unanimous, 5-0. New business.
Did we pull 1001?
No, and I also recommend approval of consent agenda item 10.01.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that we approve item number 10.01. All those in favor, let it be known by a usual sign.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Sir Attorney, we are up to discussion items.
Yes, up next is a public hearing for tentative approval of various policies. Would Madam Chair want these done one by one or all 17 together?
No, sir, Madam Chair would not.
All right, this is a public hearing for tentative approval of the following policies. 1111, right? Designation of a new position. 1120, employment of administrators. 1121.01, criminal background and employment history checks. 1210, standards of ethical conduct. 1213, student supervision and welfare. 1216, dress and grooming. 3111, designation of a new position. 3120, employment of instructional staff. 3121.01, criminal background and employment history checks. 3210, standards of ethical conduct. 3216, staff dress and grooming. 4111, designation of a new position. 4120, employment of support staff. 4121.01, criminal background and employment history checks. 4210, standards of ethical conduct. 4216, staff dress and grooming, and 8141, mandatory reporting of misconduct. Is there anyone here who would like to come speak to any of these policies? If so, please come forward. And seeing none, I feel it appropriate to close the public hearing.
Madam Superintendent?
I recommend tentative approval of the policies as presented.
So moved.
I'll second for discussion.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask a clarifying question. There was, in the 1111 and the 31111 and the 4111, which is all the designation of a new position, just within the different categories that each one of these policies were in. The first one struck out, like there was like 4 criteria that we'd be selecting a position for, and then there was a blank line, and it was struck. But then in 3111 and 4111, it wasn't struck. I was just curious. It's nothing, I would approve the tentative policies. I was just curious, which is it? And then I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to is that so you can write in your own criteria there?
So, Mr. Farnsworth, I believe those are your policies. Could you speak to that, please? Do you need a copy of what she's referring to? Okay, just in case.
They were all the changes in the policies were all the same, and so those were the only ones. It was the first one that was different from the other two. I didn't know if we were keeping the blank or if we were striking the blank.
The content, the blank will go away. It's just they leave in case you have to add extra, and sometimes whenever they provide us the formats to make the edits on, sometimes they'll have some when they're that repetitive like that. So it's a matter of just once you guys approve at the final, it gets a full clean. And
That's what I assumed. That's
Okay.
why I figured I would ask. Is it staying or going? That's perfect.
No
That's
problem.
all I needed. Thank you. That was all.
Good catch.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the policies presented. Are we voting tonight, sir? Yes, I hear yes, for tentative approval. All those in favor, let it be known by a usual sign of aye.
Aye.
5-0, unanimous. Superintendent's report.
All right, well, we have 2 letters of condolence that were sent since our last meeting. First of all, to Rebecca Dargis, school psychologist in Student Services Department, and her family in the loss of her husband, Brett Dargis. Also to Lewis Bryce family. He was a bus driver in our transportation department, so condolences to his family. And also condolences are going out to the family of Mr. Jim Purvis, the mayor pro tem and Claremont City Council member who passed away this morning. So I just want to make y'all aware of that, and condolences to his family and to the city of Claremont on their loss. And just a few things to mention to you. Don't forget that we have our groundbreaking ceremony tomorrow for our much awaited relief school in Mineola that we're so excited about. It's at 11 a.m. at Keystone Pass and Gold Dust Drive. And so we look forward to breaking ground and getting that school underway. And don't forget that we'll be serving lunch at our annual holiday luncheon at noon on Wednesday. So hopefully those are both on your calendar. Also, I provided you a copy of the school and district grades that were released today. I also emailed the whole file to you so you can go through and review that, As was shared in our workshop last week, the data is baseline only, and the grades were adjusted so that the percent of schools that earn an A, B, C, or D, or F is statistically equivalent with the 21-22 school year grades. So had grades not been adjusted, we would have seen far more A and B schools than that of the 21-22 school year, and we are certainly proud of the great work of our students, teachers, staff, and administrators who are leading our continuous school improvement efforts. So congratulations to all of them on a job well done. And lastly, I want to remind families that students will have early dismissal Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. We'll follow our regular Wednesday schedule for early release. And we will resume school on Thursday, January the 4th. And I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Mr. Mathias?
Yes, I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. And it's hard to believe this is our last board meeting for this year. Unbelievable. And with that said, there's someone that has been a true friend and mentor to me. She normally texts me after a board meeting and will critique, and that's Courtney Franklin. So it's so good to see you here. And as always, know that I appreciate the positives, and then also sometimes you give me a little bit of advice. So it's very kind. So it is good to see you. Yeah. So Merry Christmas to everyone.
I was going to say Merry Christmas too. I was thinking about, like, you know, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. If we just want to, like, no. Okay, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and we're excited to celebrate you and serve you. So thank you for the work. It's fine. Let's do it Wednesday.
Turned off her microphone. I guess that's a no-go. Shucks. Yes, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody. What a wonderful way to celebrate the end of the year with so many powerful and inspiring people who came to our meeting tonight to be celebrated. So congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to this district. I know we've only had like 5 minutes to kind of process this bit of data so far. When I first opened, I saw 63%. That's amazing. Oh wait, they moved the finish line again. Okay, all right, I understand. I understand how that game goes. No, just glancing through here, there's just so many things to celebrate, and obviously there's always work to be done. But congratulations to everybody who produced some great achievement results for our kids. So thank you for all that, and enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, echo a lot of those comments. What a night to really celebrate the best of Lake County between our Volunteer of the Year, our School-Related Employee of the Year, Miss Stacy Hatcher for what she did, Carmen and her team at the Ed Foundation for all the money they raised for our students at Redden Fair, and just overall an exciting end of the school year, or the end of the first semester, Christmas break. Merry Christmas to everyone, happy holidays, and excited to keep building on it next year. So thank you.
I'd just like to share with the other board members that last week we had our meeting about concurrency, and all the municipalities were present. And I'd just like to brag a little bit on our planning and our facilities department. They did an amazing job. I don't think there was a city leader that left with any questions unanswered or any questions about how frugal we are or how prudent we are with spending of the taxpayer dollars. So I just want to let you know that those departments are working extremely hard, and they're really getting the job done. And even though we're going to go tomorrow and have a groundbreaking for a brand new school, they do a whole bunch of things. And if you just knew all the things they were juggling and all the schools that they're getting together and finances, you too would be proud. So they did us well. They did us proud. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I'd also at this time like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 2024. Thank you. If that is all, may I have a motion to adjourn? It has been moved and properly seconded that this meeting be adjourned. All those in favor, let it be known by a usual sign of aye. Aye. 5-0. Okay, Mark, 2024.